welcome to part 2 of our series on bingo machines. In this part, Tom Adams will explain how you actually use a bingo machine and how you can win with one. So here is Tom Adams.
Okay, so let me introduce Tom Adams. Tom has been a fixture around bingo for well over 25 years and is well versed in most things bingo. Thanks, Tom, for being with us.
Glad to be with you, Dan.
So, Tom, pretend that I'm a player who's never played bingo with a machine before. Walk me through how I would operate the machine, and I'll try to ask a few questions along the way that many new people would probably want to ask. So I take it that this is the machine we're looking at here?
This is it, and that's the default screen that's showing up there. It has 6 bingo cards. It's the 6 best cards that you have in the machine.
Okay.
Yeah, so the 6 best cards are going to be on the face of the machine. There are either 36 or 54 cards total in the machine, but the 6 best show up on the machine. And when you open it, you just push a button, any button, and it'll get started and give you the look that we're looking at right now.
Okay. So now I'm ready to play bingo, and the caller calls out a number. How do I do that?
Well, just before the caller actually calls the number, you're looking at a TV monitor or one of the monitors on the side of the screen, and you see that the number 22 is on the monitor. Well, that's the one that the caller is going to call in just a moment. So you enter 22 and push enter.
Ah, okay.
That's all there is to it, and it'll show up as a mark on all the bingo faces, as well as the bingo faces that are inside the machine that you can't see.
Okay. So that's pretty simple, and then you just keep going, and then you just keep going.
Then you just keep going. So we'll create a bingo here. So as you see the numbers appear on the monitor, of course they're not official till the caller calls them. So we saw an 8 on the monitor, and it plugged in all the 8s, and then we saw 39 on the monitor. So we entered 39, and we saw 55 on the monitor. We enter that. Now, we're getting close to a bingo, and you'll notice there's a little doggy down in the lower left-hand corner.
Oh, a doggy.
He's wagging his tail, jumping up and down, doing all kinds of stuff, and he has the number 74 right next to him. That's because this card right up here has a 7-4, and that's all you'll need for a bingo.
Oh, so it tells you when you're close.
So when we're close, it lets us know that you need that, and again, there could be several numbers down there because there might be several cards that need one number or perhaps 2 numbers to get a bingo. So we'll enter the 74 because we know how to control these numbers right now. And that's how you know you've got a bingo. It goes beep, beep, and of course the screen announces nice and proudly that you have a bingo.
Okay, so you wait for that ball to be called, and then you raise your hand and say bingo.
That's all there is.
Okay. So what happens then? Do the people come and...
Well, one of the floor workers will come over. He'll push a button. So because all of these cards have an ID number on them, but they're really hard to see. So he'll push a button on the monitor, on the machine, and that'll show the ID number of the card nice and bold. And he'll tell the caller that, and he'll input it into the main machine, and it'll say you have a bingo.
Okay. All right. So what if, for some reason, I got fumble fingers, and instead of putting 74 in, I put 76 in?
Okay.
Or 75. You couldn't put a 76 in.
Right. But if you did 74, but it was incorrect. You entered 74 incorrectly. We'll get back to that screen again. And we'll enter 74 again. And it will ask you, it'll say 74 has already been called. Would you like to remove that call? And all you have to do is push this button right, there's not touch screen here, but just push the button below the word yes. And 74 will go away.
Will go away. Okay. All right. Very good.
Now, if you'd like to know all the numbers that you've entered already, there is a feature. It's a button here called Bingo Board. It looks identical to the bingo boards that are around the room, and it looks like that. And when you do that, it shows up all the numbers that you've called. We had an 8, 22, 39, 55, and we'll do 74 again. Enter. and it showed up. But
And it's
since
the last number is always the one
and
blinking.
the last number is always the one blinking. Now, the reason we didn't get a bingo again is because we cleared out that bingo. So
Okay, all right. So
we got to get away from the bingo board now.
Yeah.
We just push the word bingo board again, and you're back to where you
you're
were
back to where you
a
were.
moment ago.
So Tom, say that was a good bingo, and I either won or didn't win, but I'm ready to go on to the next game.
Right, and yeah, we didn't win or did win, whatever the case. We're ready for the next game, and there's a bright red button just to the right over here on the right-hand side
there it is.
of the
Okay.
unit. And we just say next game, and it's going to ask you a question because you might have accidentally pushed it. So we're going to say end this game and advance to the next, and you'll say yes. Again, not a touch screen. You have to push the button on the unit, and it'll announce what the game is. A lot of information, but again, you'll be back to that six card screen again.
Okay. So we've kind of figured out if we enter the wrong number, what if I went too many times and
Yeah.
I went to game 4 and I should be on game 3 or
Right.
something
Okay.
like
Well,
that?
right now we're on game 2, and by the way, to know if you're on the right game, you can look at the very top of the screen, and it shows the pattern that's supposed to be there, and it also tells the name of the game that is presently being played and which game number it is. So that's one way to know if you're on the correct game, and you said, "Oh darn, I am on the wrong game. I've got to get away from this." So when the thing that you do, there's 3 buttons on the left, and the middle one is called Info. When you push it, it tells you all the games that are being played that night. But more importantly, in the lower right-hand corner of that screen, it has the word Backup 1 game. And again, not a touch screen, so you just push the Backup 1 game, yes.
Okay.
And there's some other information, but you just basically go back to that game that you had a bingo on.
Wow, what a lucky night. Now, what if there's some other problems I'm having during the game?
Well, there's an administrator or a machine person that will come around, and you just say yell machine or yell her name out, and she will come and help you solve the problems. Occasionally, a machine does have a problem, like perhaps a key sticks. They get used a lot. Maybe a key sticks and it stays down, and the machine does not like that when you have a key that stays down. So
That makes sense. Okay. Now, did you show us how I know what numbers I've entered?
yes, that was again the bingo board.
The bingo board.
The bingo board tells you what that is.
All right. Now, what about, I know some nights wild cards are played.
Yes, on the last game of the evening, we have a wild card, or it could be any night there's a wild card. They are programmed in, but you do have to enter the first number to let it know what the
So
wild card
say
number
the
is.
wild card is 3.
So if it was a 3, you just enter a 3. Well, that's another bingo because that was a. let me leave this for the moment. We'll go to the next game. Okay. But if you were to enter a 3, and it was wild on that, and it had the first number wild on that particular game, when you entered the 3, every card would have every number ending in 3 would be daubed.
Okay. So it takes care of it for you as long as you remember that not the ball on the screen, but
Right.
enter the actual
Right.
wild number. Okay. Well, that sounds pretty simple. Is there anything else we should know about playing the machines?
No, they're a
Tom?
lot of fun. They're easy to use. They're pretty simple, and it's got that little doggy on there to cheer for you when you get near that bingo.
Very good. All right. Well, Tom, we want to thank you. We appreciate it so much, and we'll see you at bingo.
Okay, thank you much. Bye bye.